about to start our 2014-15 wrestling season. We've got about 31 guys that are going to be on the mat with us this year, and start kind of our trip to hopefully a division championship at the end of the season. We'll find out a lot today. I should say we'll find out a lot through this first week. First week of practice, we try to go pretty hard. I mean, we try and, see what everyone's made of, and we're really trying to push these guys to get in shape as quick as possible so that once we do start competing, we're ready to go, So we don't hold anything back here these first couple days. So we learn a lot about where their heads are at, and what they've done throughout the off season, how much time they put in to get themselves prepared for this first day, and that's extends through the course of the first week. Really, by Saturday we'll have a good idea of what we're looking at, and like I said, what these guys are really made of going into the regular season.
Couple things. First and foremost, everybody has to be in here as soon as you can after school to get mats up. We're not playing that game like we played over the past couple of years where guys come in, put their shoes on, and just hang out while everybody else is putting them up. Alright? So everybody has to get in here and help. It should not be just freshmen mopping mats. I expect to see everybody take a turn mopping mats. We're a team. We need to do all of this stuff as a team. Alright? This isn't a gig where upperclassmen get to come in and boss the younger guys around. You guys need to take responsibility for it. You guys are the ones that have been here and dealt with all the skin stuff in the past, so you guys should be the ones that are saying you need to get these things mopped ASAP. Alright? Am I clear? Okay.
I'm so excited. It's my senior year, and I want to make the most of it. I've put so much time in it personally, and it's my year.
Preparation happens well in advance of this day. So all that stuff is kind of already laid out. It's more of just the excitement of getting back on the mat and kind of see how far these guys have come from last year, and see any of the new kids that are coming in that we don't necessarily get to see, wrestling over the course of the last season. It's just kind of exciting to bring all these guys back together, and like I said, kind of jumpstart into our season of trying to win that championship at the end of the year. So, it's not nerve-wracking or anything like that. It's just kind of jittery, like let's get this season cranking away.
Again, this first week is going to be tough. All right, we are going to go very, very hard here this first week. I don't expect this week to be, coming in and trying to cut a bunch of weight. I expect this week to be coming in, getting down to business, making sure that we're improving every day, and we're going to go hard. Alright, my goal here is to make sure you guys are in the best shape as you possibly can be going into that first competition, and I expect you guys to come in here every day with that attitude of, I gotta get better. Alright, you guys have to come in here on a daily basis and put in every single ounce that you have into this sport. If we can do that, and we can do that consistently throughout the year, good things are going to happen. But once we start getting into coming in here and going through the motions and taking drills off and just kind of half-assing it, good things will not happen. Alright? And you guys will regret it at the end of the season, I promise you. So make sure you come in here, focused, ready to go. The goal is to win a division championship, and it starts now.
I'm pretty excited, to get back in the tournaments and stuff. And practice is tough, but I'm ready to get back into winning and wrestling some kids.
This year seems to be one of the best years I've been here. There has been hardly any slacking off, and everyone seems to be pretty focused with what they're doing and motivated to do what they need to do.
At the end of the day, it's on you. So you guys got to make a decision now. Do we want to be state champs at the end of the year? Do we want to put our names on the wall? Or do we want to just have another ho-hum season? Like I said in our preseason meeting, last year still stings. It still burns. It was not fun going through that division this year, especially after what we had done the 2 years before. And I, for one, do not want to feel that way again. So you guys need to make your choice. Right here, right now, today. Let's go win a state championship this year. You guys got it? Am I clear? Yes, sir. Does anyone have any questions? All right. Brother.
Pretty much just hell for anybody, you know, whether you're old or new. It's going to be tough no matter what. It's kind of a weed 'em out week, you know. This will determine who's going to be on the team. I mean, we'll probably lose, you know, 5 to 10 people just because they quit 'cause it's so hard, you know, and it's just, it's brutal.
Quite a lot. Like, I know, like, a bunch of the guys, we did a whole bunch of off-season tournaments, and we were in the weight room every single day in the spring, and we did runs every other day. And even over the summer, we tried doing stuff, like simple things just to try to improve ourselves for the season.
Pretty much everything, I guess. You know, you got to give your whole summer for wrestling, and we definitely do. I mean, the core group of guys that we have in the starting lineup, we are in the weight room, you know, 4 or 5 times a week. Or over the summer, and in the off-season, guys are at clubs. And
a lot of guys that wrestle for Gate City. Over in Nashua, we have guys that wrestle for Doughboys, and we run quite a bit of summer wrestling here throughout the summer months. But we're, you know, throughout the whole spring we're weightlifting, throughout the whole summer we're wrestling and weightlifting, and throughout the whole winter we put on skill sessions for these guys. So I'm able to stay in contact with them. Just kind of see where they're at and, you know, set little milestones throughout the off-season to get them ready for today.
It's really important, and especially for these practices, because coach is going over the basics, because we have new wrestlers, and we can't just go straight into live wrestling, because they'll be like, I don't know what I'm doing. So, but it's good because we have experience, so we can kind of evolve on the basic drills we do, and we kind of take them in our own route, and maybe if we're supposed to do certain things a certain way, we can expand on it and try more than what the drill is meant for, the basic drill that we're doing on the first.
You want your feet shoulder width apart, toes point forward, if not slightly in. You don't want our toes pointing out. Okay, so forward, slightly in here. Your knees, depending on your knees, alright? I'm not going to bend at my waist. You can hear us talk a lot about getting your hips down, not letting your head go down. That all happens by bending at my knees and not at my waist. Does that all make sense to everyone? Alright? So bending at my knees. My shoulders should line up right above my knees here. So that, whatever you want to call it, that I like to use is analogies, alright? I don't think that's the word for it, but you should be able to take a snake, try to get through your shoulder, go straight through your knees, and then straight through your toes. Alright? So if I'm bending way over like this, that doesn't work, right? I've got to make sure that my back is straight, my head is up, my knees are slightly over my toes here, my shoulders are lining up right above my knees. Okay? You guys will see as we start drilling this, it will get uncomfortable at first, but we've got to make sure that we can stay in this position at all times. Alright? So up here, hands, where are my hands? Up front, right? Where are my elbows? In. Okay? I should not be wrestling like this. I should not be wrestling like this. Alright? I want my hands out in front in a comfortable position, ready to attack, and my elbows are in. Alright? Everyone see that? Okay? Slight curl in my back. Head is up. Shoulders can be hunched over if you want. And then my movement is all in short, choppy steps. Alright? So I'm here. My movement is all in view. I'm not taking big, wide steps to get me out of position. You're going to hear us talk a lot about staying in good position. Alright? This is not good position. So I got to make sure that I can stay in good position and move comfortably all the way through. Weights on the balls of my feet. Got it? You're understanding on. talked about it this fall. How about that? You guys' job is to make sure that you're still doing things the way that they need to be done. Does that make sense? So as you're doing this, and you start getting a little sore, a little winded, your muscles aren't working quite the way you think they should be, make sure you're focused on what you're doing. You have to be able to wrestle and focus when you're tired. Okay? So when I look around, you've only been doing this for a minute and 12 seconds. And I see guys starting to stand up and go like this, alright? And just kind of hanging their arms out here. We're not getting any better at it. Alright? I'm putting it on you guys to make sure that you're focused up. So make sure we're doing things the way they need to be done. You guys got it? Alright, let's go. Move around again.
It was kind of brutal because it was straight up playoffs to wrestling season. I wasn't able to do the conditioning I wanted to do. I have done in previous years because football season would end a little bit earlier, so it was kind of tough. But I worked hard during the football season, so I was in pretty good shape coming into the wrestling season.
They wouldn't be able to last through the season without at least a few days off from the football season. I mean, they just played a game on Saturday. So I'm sure waking up Sunday they were sore. I'm sure they've been sore all football season. So these few days off and getting them away from the building and allowing them to have some time on their own to just kind of collect their thoughts and prepare themselves mentally for the wrestling season goes a long way. I mean, those guys would not be able to get through this first week of practice without coming up with some sort of injury, just based on what their bodies go through throughout the football season. So, to me, giving these guys a chance to rest is only going to help us in the long run. And they deserve it. You know, I mean, they need a couple days just on their own to not have to worry about getting in here and putting everything they have into a practice. And those guys will be better for it. I mean, I have full faith in those guys. They've been through, even through football season, they were here for all the wrestling stuff too. So, you know, I have no doubt that those guys are prepared anyways, coming into the beginning of the season.
Definitely still stings, even though it was so long ago. Just we lost 6 finals matches in a row, but 5 of those guys are coming back next year to wrestle probably another finals match. So if we do what we're supposed to do, well, then I think we have a pretty good shot.
Time-consuming and tedious process, really, for the first week or so. With the range of abilities that we have on the mat, it it can take some time to get everyone to a point where we can really start getting after it. And so we spent a lot of time talking about technique this first week, and it can certainly be difficult for guys to keep their focus on the things that they've learned, you know, since most of these guys were in 7th grade and started wrestling. They're hearing the same thing at the beginning of every single year. But I make sure to stress the importance to everybody that going over this stuff from day one is just as important for the new guys as it is for the older guys who may need a refresher. It gets them thinking about the things that they're doing and gets them focusing on, you know, the finer points of the technique that we're teaching.
I was in 8th grade, which was my first year wrestling, and I came up for one of the later in the season practices, because when you keep going in middle school, they stop having practices down in the middle school, and guys up here I was like, man, that practice was so hard, and they're like, you don't even know. You know, you wait till you have a red flag next year.
So every year, at the beginning of the season, and I try and pepper them in throughout the season, we call it a red flag practice, and what happens is they don't know when it's coming. Most of them try and guess when it's going to fall, but usually in those 3 days before Thanksgiving, it will be one of those 3 days. I go in the gym before practice, before anyone gets in there, and I actually I have a flag that I hang up in the gym so that I hang it from one of the hoops, and when they walk in, they see the flag, so they know what's coming. And it's kind of become this, I don't know what the right word is for it, but it's a tradition that has been, you know, kind of established, that the older guys are constantly talking about it at the beginning of the season. Oh, there's a red flag practice coming, and all it is just an all-out, you know, we go as hard as we possibly can for 2 hours.
Yeah.